Hello out there. We're on the air. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. How we doing? It is freaking cold here. And we got our co-host in the house today, giving us the side eye. I would expect nothing less this morning on a Monday. Okay, well, let's just ease back into it here a little bit. It is Monday, so there's a little bit of rust. We got a wild show today, I feel like. Lots to get through. I was kind of looking at things this morning, and I was thinking, what the heck am I going to talk about today? There's not a whole lot of news going on, but then I thought about 20 things. So that's what we're going to get through today. Let's start with who's here, who's where. Zapstream going? Yes, Zapstream is live. Okay, and we got Clean Your Machine official. I wonder if there's some spam accounts around Clean Your Machine, but we do know this is the official account of Clean Your Machine. And we got Spaceman over in Zapstream. 69 sats. Good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Ginger. I'm in a good mood today. Tom says, good morning. We're lucky to have this dip. We all know what's about to come. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Shitty thing is, for most of us anyways, myself for sure, the hell with that, is that we don't have a whole lot of cash kicking around. We don't have a lot of dollars to put back into Bitcoin today. But that's okay. That's okay. Phil, good morning / afternoon. That's a good call. And maybe evening if there's anybody out there in Australia today. Jay, good morning. Would it be evening in Australia? I don't know. Who knows? I feel like there's a lot of Aussies that watch this show. I don't know how many watched it live, though. Jay, good morning. Lori, good morning. Time to go negative in our bank accounts. Not really, but who cares? Yeah, that is true. I would say for my bank accounts, I would be much more negative. But that's okay. Is it really negative if it's worth zero? I don't know. That's what you got to ask yourself. Ian, good morning. Good morning, Bitcoin gang and Jor. Hope we had a great weekend stacking. Yes, we did have a good weekend here. Hey, Rick, good morning. Let's check on the like situation here. We got 30 people in here at the moment, ATM. That doesn't include Rumble, though. Rumble, you there? Let's see what Rumble's up to today. Not a whole lot of traction yet on Rumble, but we're not going to give up. We're not giving up on Rumble, that's for sure. We're going to persist. Even though our time and energy might be better elsewhere right now, we're going to persist with Rumble. So Rumble, if you're watching this, make sure you press the like, make sure you say hello, and make sure you subscribe. I want to keep doing things on Rumble, so give me some feedback there. Dale, good morning from minus 25 degrees Celsius, flat Saskatchewan. Dale, guess what it is here today? Can I do this? No, it won't let me. I don't want to give away my location, but minus 29. Whew. Feels like minus 37. Thank God I'm inside here today. But God bless the people who are working outside today. That is just, it's too much. It's too much. Bitcoin Buddha, good morning. He's on both. Gotta love that. Spaceman and Bitcoin Buddha. Spaceman said, I just watched Happy Gilmore, thought of you. Yeah, Happy Gilmore's got to be one of the all-time great movies, I would say. Without a doubt. It's got to be top 10 for sure. Probably top 3 for me. Anyways, let's see what else we got here. We got Duncan. Morning, gang. Smash bot this morning at 93K, then it tanks to 90. Happens every time. Yes, it does. Hey, Paul, good morning. It's good to hear from you on the weekend, my friend. Buying the dip today. Me too, with whatever I got left. I'll scrounge them up. Actually, you know what? I do have some things to trade in. I do. I'm going to trade in some coins. I've been collecting a little jar. It's called Travel Jar. It's just a nice decoration, but I've been keeping coins in it for about a year now. Just spare change, loose change. And I'm going to be cashing that in for Bitcoin. So this dip is welcome today, except I won't get to do it till tomorrow, but hopefully things stay low. Thrego, good morning. Retro Beaver, good morning, Legends. And we got Lazy River. Says, good morning, send some sats to Arnie's wallet. Can't send notes with Strike except between Strike users. Well, he looks pumped to have received that. So thank you, Lazy River, and thank you to anybody else out there who has zapped to Arnie's wallet this morning. Okay. Well, what do we got on the agenda today? I want to get through a couple housekeeping items first. Then we're going to get through a little bit of news. And then we're going to watch a video. And then I might go through this little guy. I might talk about this today if we got time. Oh, look at the light up there. It's dark here right now. It's dark and minus 30. What did I say? 37? So we need the light today. And I do have 2 other lights coming. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. I got 2, not lights meant for like lighting, but lights for my blue light for people who stare at screens all day. So anyways, let's start with some housekeeping for today. But before we do, we got Bodie over here in the Zap stream. Says, good morning, friends. Going to be another wild week, January 20th incoming. And Zap 420 sats. Thank you, Bodie. Good man. All right, well, let's start with Bodie. We got a couple different things I want to share with you just in terms of things that have been going on here with me personally a little bit in terms of other shows, other channels, other happenings. So let's start with Bitcoin Generations. Let's see if we can find it now. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. It wasn't showing up here for a while. I think it was because he hadn't posted a video on there yet. But anyways, if you can spare, oh, look at that. I was watching the Amigos. I was looking for some clips. So let's leave that for now. But anyways, we got our first video posted on Bitcoin Generations. You can see right here, learning about Bitcoin the easy way. So this channel is kind of dedicated towards the baby boomer generation in terms of Bitcoin stuff. But the other thing there is that it's not specifically for baby boomers. It's for anybody who's just kind of getting started with Bitcoin. So I'd say, we're about a year and a bit into this show here, the Daily Bitcoin Journey. And a lot of the topics we cover are fairly advanced. So I think that this Bitcoin Generations is going to be a really good chance and opportunity for people who are a little bit behind, I guess you'd say, or just getting started in their Bitcoin journey. So check out Bitcoin Generations. Take a couple minutes this morning, go over there and subscribe if you would. And make sure you check out the video here, our first video that we did. It was a long one, but we did some Q&A at the end. There's some really good questions. And yeah, that's Bitcoin Generations. And let's go to the next one here. Look at this. Shout out to Chris for all the great animations and music and everything he's got going on. He's a great host and the best laugh in the business, I think. So this is the Bitcoin Amigo show we did on Friday, the 6th one, actually. This one was the Friday Amigo Royale, prosperity, freedoms, and tunes. But anyways, you want to get to, let me bring this up for a sec. Bitcoin Day. You want to get to right here. This is where you want to start watching it. If you don't have 2 hours and 50 minutes, that was a long stream. But if you don't have 3 hours to watch the show, start at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Because we get into a little bit of conspiracy stuff. Conspiracy, but not that conspiracy. We talked about, we showed a video of John Trump, Trump's uncle, Tesla, and Barron Trump, the book about Barron Trump and time traveling stuff. So if you're feeling a little bit crazy today on Monday morning, go check out this Friday Amigo Royale. and started about 220. What else do we have here? We have, let me see, Bitcoin, not crypto. We had an episode here with Forrest, and a really good chat.
Hello, everyone. My name is Forrest.
So it's right here. How Bitcoin can change lives with Jor from 88 Sats Radio. So it's a quick show, only about an hour long. So if you got some time today, make sure you go check that out. Make sure you subscribe to Bitcoin. I'm not even subscribed on here. There we go. Pretty sure I'm subscribed on the Bitcoin Journey channel. But anyways, Bitcoin, not crypto. Make sure you go check out the video. We had a really good chat. And yeah, there's a bit of housekeeping for you. Start the day. All righty, let me get the email sent off here so we can see what we got for news today. I'm actually chatting with our good buddy Rajat today as well. So we got some videos coming out, I think, between him and I. Drafts. I always forget to hit the send button here, which is kind of stupid, but anyways. So, how's everybody's weekend? Killer's here. Good morning, Killer. Timber Crasher. Couple of Bitcoin Journeyman here, and Libby and the future members. Morning, Johnny. And Stu. Stewie. All right. That is sent. Let's get two things here. Loving the price action today. This is the kind of, I know we're in the right hands here when we got people talking like this. Nobody's panicking. I think we've seen about 5 or 6 comments saying how happy people are about the dip today. That's the kind of community you want to hang out with here. Okay, well, let's start with the mempool briefly. Bitcoin to 88K. Are we there yet? I'd be happy with that. That's a good number. Oh, God, we're still in the 90s. What's everybody freaking out about here? We're still in the 90s. Okay. Oh, man. Well, here's the mempool. Some good news here for everybody, or better news, I guess, if you're anything like me. But we got, look at this. We had another upwards adjustment in the difficulty. We just snuck it in there, but it looks like we had a 0.61% upwards adjustment, making it, keeping the streak going since September. Let's get to that. This is the metric that matters within Bitcoin. You want the price to be low and the hash to be high. That's what you want. And you can see here, ever since September, no, right here. That was a downwards one. Ever since October, September 26th, 2024, that is October, November, December, just about 4 months straight of upwards adjustments in Bitcoin. That's incredible. So that's the hash rate. That is a total amount of power that's going into the Bitcoin network. Every time somebody plugs in a Bitcoin miner, hash rate goes up. Every time somebody unplugs a miner, hash rate goes down. So we are currently sitting at block height 879.081. And if you are transacting on Bitcoin layer 1, you're going to be paying 2 sats per VByte. The whole weekend was pretty much 1 sat per VByte. Although, I will tell you a little story here, because this was a good learning lesson from me. Let me have some coffee first. This was a good learning lesson from me. So I think that there will be people out there who also might learn something. But before that, we got Sunshine, 420 sats over on Zapstream. Thank you, Sunshine. Says, is the US DOJ selling Silk Road coins? I hope so. I do. I think that I mentioned this on the Amigo show on Friday, but I said, you know what? The whole thing about Bitcoin is that every single Bitcoin since January 3rd, 2009 has been earned fairly. You either plug in a miner and try to compete for the next block, you add energy, you secure the network, and you get rewarded for that if you're lucky. So ever since day one or the Genesis block in Bitcoin, Bitcoin has been earned fairly. Or you add value to the world, you earn fiat or Bitcoin, and you can exchange that fiat for Bitcoin. Two ways to earn Bitcoin, both fair. That's what makes Bitcoin what it is. And for the US government to be able to seize coins and consider that their strategic reserve is bullshit to me. So I do think that the US government should absolutely sell all of their coins, start fresh, give the coins to the people, and go forward with a clean slate. That's my opinion on it. So are they selling it? I have no idea. Should they? Yes. My opinion. Sean Young, good morning. Great comment too. Dick Cheney's negligent discharge shotgun. Gorilla hands all day, baby. All day, baby. And Lock Sky. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for all the support here. Lock Sky's provided several dozens of people with memberships on the community, on the channel here. So thank you, Lock Sky. I very much appreciate the support. It is not unnoticed, that's for sure. Hey, Dale says, heading to Manitoba Bitcoin meetup today. Despite the dip in price and temperature, just what Bitcoiners do. Attaboy. That's a long drive. Regina to Winnipeg? Well, Dale's done this a lot of times, but I'd guess that's about, it's got to be more than 5 hours. 5.5 hours probably. And if you've ever been on that highway before, Highway 1 from Regina to Winnipeg, you pretty much need clothespins like this to keep your eyes open, because it is just like a straight, flat, no scenery, nothing for 6 hours. That's got to be one of the worst drives on planet Earth, honestly. I mean, safe, except when it's snowy and there's semis driving by you at 130 kilometers an hour. But yeah, that's a tough one. So that is what Bitcoiners do. Attaboy, Dale. Attaboy. All right. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying there with the Aqua wallet. So one thing I've been using Aqua wallet for is actually converting Bitcoin on Lightning to layer 1. I use two things. Number one is Bitcoin Well, the swap feature. But the problem with the swap feature on Bitcoin Well is it's usually batched. So it usually takes a day. So if you're in any sort of rush to convert layer 1 or layer 2 to layer 1 or vice versa, I recommend Aqua Wallet. And I've been using it for that. It's also non-KYC. There's no name or email attached to your Aqua Wallet, which I like. You can take the keys to it. You got a 12-word private key there, which actually came in handy in this situation here. So I set a transaction. I did a swap and I sent Bitcoin from Aqua to my cold card. And when I was doing that, I wanted to set the fee very low because I wanted to try using the increased fee feature in Aqua just to see how it worked. So I was like, if it clears at 1 sat per VByte, great. If not, I'll actually test out the increased fee on Aqua. And so it sat there for about a day at 1 sat per VByte, which was kind of weird because there was a bunch of blocks picking up 1 sat transactions, but they wouldn't get mine, I guess. So I don't know why. But anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try increasing the fee here, see what happens. So I tried increasing the fee on the Aqua wallet and nothing really worked. Nothing happened. I increased the fee. I pressed confirm. I looked at the transaction and it was still just the old original fee that I used, 1 sat per VByte. So it wasn't working. I couldn't get the increased fee to work on Aqua. And so what I ended up doing was I just took my 12 words out of Aqua. I created a new wallet in Sparrow, put in my 12 words on there, imported a wallet onto Sparrow, and actually used Sparrow to increase the fee, and the transaction went through. So it actually took a couple times. I don't know what happened exactly, but it gave me about 3 or 4 different errors when I was trying to do that through Sparrow. And finally, I think I just kept trying. I was persistent with it, and finally it broadcast and it worked. And so just good lesson for everybody out there. If you are using the Aqua, the increased fee isn't working very well yet. So just be aware. Be aware. And another point to that I would say is pay very close attention to the wallet that you're using with Bitcoin. Because if you send a transaction from a wallet that doesn't actually have the replace by fee, if it doesn't have the feature built into it that you can increase the fee, then you're going to be in trouble. Transactions could sit there for a very long time. And apparently it's like 2 or 3 weeks it sits in the mempool. But some of them actually will just stay there for, I don't know, forever. Thankfully, I haven't had any issues with that. Forever part, I had one stuck for 2 or 3 weeks with the Moon wallet. So just pay close attention to where you're sending your Bitcoin from, what that wallet has for features. Does it support RBF? When you send a transaction from that wallet, does it support RBF? Because we've kind of had such low fees for such a long time now that everybody's kind of used to it. And I'm guessing it's happened numerous times in the past, but there's going to be a time where the fees just shoot up and they stay there for a very long time. They come back down maybe a couple months later, maybe 6 months later. But even if we're looking at last year at this time, let me show you what the fees were this year, this time last year. Let's go to 2024, this time last year. That's why I like this metrics. I should probably do a better job of maintaining this. But anyways, last year on January the 13th, look at that. I don't know why I did that. That was stupid. I guess we had 2 January 12th last year. That's interesting. But the fees were 72 sats per vbyte. 72. That's a lot. And so you have to be preparing for this stuff. You have to be consolidating while these fees are low. And you have to be very mindful that you might send a transaction one day and the fees might shoot up and they might not come down for a very long time. So this was 72, 66, 56, 56, 37. Okay, so this still 40 though. This seemed like a little bit of a high time with the 70s, but still, like, that's significant. So just be very aware of the wallet that you're using. That's the moral of the story. Be very aware of the wallet that you use to sign transactions and what kind of transactions are included in that. Does it have the RBF feature or not? Because if I sent that from Aqua and it didn't have RBF, then I would have been effed. Van City Sparky, good morning from BC. It's 3 degrees right now. Absolutely brutal. It's minus 37 here. It actually looks beautiful outside, but it's cold. It just looks cold right now. Chilly. Very chilly, very chilly. Poor Arnie. Look at him. All right. What do we got over on Zapstream? Oh, we got My Path to Fires there too. Good crowd today in the Zapstream. Good showing. Okay. I guess while I show a bit of news here, maybe I'll just ask the community here. I like doing this once in a while, but let me know. Oh, we got a decent crowd on Rumble today. Good morning, Rumble. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what's going on Rumble and Rumble land. But while I do a little bit of news here, go through a couple different topics, let me know if you've ever had any issues with your wallet not being able to increase your fee. You ever got a transaction stuck? And what wallet was it from where you got the transaction stuck? Because the nice thing with Sparrow, if you're using Sparrow as your wallet, you can always increase the fee after. So let me know which wallet, if you've ever had a transaction get stuck, let me know which wallet it was from and what you did if you got some time. Hey, Adam's over in Rumble. Love that. Good morning. I think it's Adam, Bitcoin 444. That looks like Adam. All right. So some news. This one's a cool one. Yeah, Daniel, that's frosty. That's frosty. And the best thing about it too, usually like in certain climates, you get like either cold or snow. Like if I think of the East Coast and West Coast too, they get East Coast, especially though here in Canada, they get just dumped with snow, but then it's usually gone within a couple of days because it's like a mild temperature. But here it was snowing and it was minus 30. And we had to go out yesterday and shovel and blow that snow around. All right, so here's some news. I want to actually check out the website here too for the news release. But this is Heritage Distilling. I like that name. I like this logo. I like distilleries. And it's, so Heritage Distilling. The name is CASK, announces a Bitcoin policy. So this is a couple days ago, but I just came across this. Let me see. Let's see the release here. Oh, what happened? There we go. This is pretty cool. So it says Heritage Distilling introduces Bitcoin Treasury policy statement, sets the stage for the company to lead the craft e-commerce space in accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment and hold Bitcoin as a strategic asset. So I don't know if they bought any Bitcoin yet, but they have announced their that's kind of like a cheat code to get your stock price go up a little bit. Just say you're going to hold some Bitcoin. You don't need to announce any new products or new services, but just tell the world that you're going to be holding Bitcoin and your stock price will go up. So that's Heritage. I think that that's such a brilliant move. And I think we're still going to be in a position here for the next little while where these companies can actually significantly benefit from announcing something like this. And if you think about it, Heritage Distilling. So they're going to be holding Bitcoin. They're going to be accepting Bitcoin. And I know as a Bitcoiner myself that if I was walking down the street and there's two distilleries, I usually use a coffee example, coffee shops, but let's use distilleries or bars, pubs. And two of them were the exact same. They had the exact same drinks, same experience. Everything was the exact same, carbon copy of each other, right beside one another. And if I'm walking past and one of those two stores had accept Bitcoin on the door, a sticker that said Bitcoin accepted here, I'm going into that one 100 times out of 100 as a Bitcoiner. And I'm definitely not alone there. So I do think that there's such a huge opportunity for companies like Heritage Distilling to not only hold an asset that doesn't depreciate over time, that actually strengthens your balance sheet, but also attracts new customers. It's like an absolute no-brainer. You're adding the best assets that's ever existed in human history before to your balance sheet. Plus, if you're accepting Bitcoin, you're just going to inherently get a whole lot more new business. So Bitcoin is a cheat code still at this stage. It won't be forever, but it is today. And Heritage Distilling is the latest company to announce that they're going to be going down that road. So shout out to Heritage Distilling. Let me just look at their website, see what they got for products. Like this is just free. This is what you get when you add Bitcoin to your company. You just get free promotion. They'll be on Bitcoin apps. They'll be talked about within Bitcoin circles. Look at this. This is their website right now. Front page. Accepting Bitcoin for online purchases soon. This is very big. This is very big to me. The fact that this is such big news to companies nowadays. I'm sure when companies used to introduce Bitcoin or they were accepting Bitcoin, it would be like at the bottom of their website, like nobody would ever see it. It's just kind of there for the weirdos out there. But this is like front page news on the website soon, not even up yet. Sign up to add your name to the list when we launch. I like that. It's pretty cool. They got service to American Salute whiskey for the War Dog. Wow. Special edition Salute whiskey, the Army SOF edition. This is pretty badass, you guys and girls. D-Day. Wow. This is kind of cool. I'm glad I looked at that website. Every spirit has a story. So it looks like they are patriots. They're freedom-loving patriots. And so Bitcoin fits in perfectly with that. Cheat code. Bitcoin is a cheat code for sure. All right. Hi, we got Jason in the chat this morning. Let's fucking grow. Cleaning Machine says, very interesting in how that all works for small businesses, but I'm very patient. Actually, you know what? Hopefully we clip this. I think it was, this was on Bodie's channel. I want to clip this. Bodie, if you're still watching this, we have to remember to clip this because we had a really good conversation about small businesses paying their employees in Bitcoin. It is actually Cleaner Machine that brought up the topic, but we had 3 really good suggestions or ideas going down that road of business owners and Bitcoin. So that is on Bitcoin Generations. You can go there. I don't know what part it's at, but I'll do my best to try to clip that and add it to the channel today. Because that was a really good conversation and Bodie had a really good idea. And we had a couple different ones in there. Yeah. Oh man. So many people are sleeping on FASB right now. Like the implications of that are going to be absolutely massive. Nobody understands it. Nobody understands why it's important. And I mean, that's part of why I called the episode today. Does anyone really understand Bitcoin? If we had time, which I'm going to make time, I think today. But I want to go through some of the comments I've been getting on YouTube because it just seems like people are, I don't know, out to lunch might be the wrong word, but just like having a very hard time wrapping their head around Bitcoin. One of the main reasons why Bitcoin is going to win this whole war is the simplicity of it. So let's take a look at this. This is from the Rhino Bitcoin app. And this is a very good graphic in terms of how things work. Let me go here. All right, so you can see how things work in the traditional financial world right now. You can see how complicated that is. It takes the credit card info into the phone like an Apple Pay or Google Pay. It has to go through the server. It has to go through the banks. It has to pass the credit card information through, stores to a chip. You need the device account number. It's there's a lot going on there. Moral of the story, I don't understand it myself. I don't expect anybody would. And that's a crazy thing for me is like people have such a hard time understanding Bitcoin because it's so new. But when you look at it objectively and from this angle, so easy. So easy, peer-to-peer. Nobody's in between there. And when you're another part of this is like if there's any business owners out there, you understand how like archaic this system is now. Because when a customer makes a payment with Apple Pay or Google Pay, it comes right out of their account. It either comes out of their bank account or it gets added to their credit card balance. But from the business owner's perspective, whoever you're paying for that product or service, that money actually doesn't show up for a couple of days, which is wild to me. It takes a couple of days to settle and it takes a couple of days to show up in your bank account after. So as a small business owner, I mean, just the instantaneous settlement of these transactions is massive. That should change everything. The fact that it doesn't take a couple of days anymore for it to show up in your bank account. Somebody sends a Lightning payment over Bitcoin, it's there instantly. There's no time, there's no waiting for it to settle. There's no fees. So, I mean, when you look at it like this, you understand how powerful this technology is, not only for the speed, efficiency, but also the fact that none of these people here can stop this transaction. And that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. All right, what do we got here? We got Phil says, I've had Sparrow. Sorry, I missed a comment up here from Daniel. He said that he's had a transaction get stuck with Moon. Now I just use Sparrow. That's one thing to be cautious about, because I do suggest that people use Moon in certain circumstances. I love the Moon wallet. I do. It's very easy to use, very easy to set up, very easy to send and receive. But the problem is that I don't know if the transactions actually use RBF. And the other problem with it is it actually doesn't have a private key that you can restore into Sparrow. Because if you look at the Moon private key that it provides, or the mnemonic phrase, it's actually not words at all. It's just letters and numbers. So you couldn't take your Moon wallet and plop that into Sparrow. So just be aware of that. I do love the Moon wallet. I suggest people use the Moon wallet. You just have to be very careful when you're actually sending the Bitcoin out of Moon. When you graduate to like a hardware device, you have to make sure that you set the fee high enough. Otherwise, you could get, I mean, again, I've had this happen before. It was stuck. I actually had the creator of Moon. I think this was how long ago this was, but I had the creator of the Moon wallet actually help me through it. So I think I used the child pays for parent, and I had to pay a lot of fees for that. A lot of fees. So just be aware. Be aware of that. Phil says, I've had Sparrow set up for 2 days before Samurai wallet was closed down. As a novice, it took a while and some cold sweat to work out how Sparrow could retrieve my funds, but it did. Sparrow's great. Sparrow is great. It is the best Bitcoin wallet that exists. It's only on desktop, unfortunately, but I mean, you should be doing everything that you can to be using Sparrow. Jay says, I was talking about Bitcoin and got hit with a what if an EMP goes off? Bitcoin would be useless. Yeah, that's everybody's favorite. Anybody who says that does not understand Bitcoin one bit. Hey, Mr. Yulefang. Good morning. Good to see you, my friend. I wonder if Mr. Yulefang was in the 6-hour show from Ben the other day. I think Ben's back today. So we had actually, we talked about on the show last week about everything that happened there with his live stream. And he ended up getting sick, going to the hospital after. So I don't know what caused that. I guess he had some thyroid issues. I don't know. Anyways, it sounds like he's doing better now, which is very good news. Very good news. Oh, thanks, Arnie. Free view of Arnie's butt there. Yeah, isn't this crazy? Cleaner Machine says I pay $250 a month for my debit credit machine. And that's fine. I mean, is it fine? No, but is it fine if that's the only option? Yes. But it's not the only option anymore. That's the thing. Like, these things exist. These tools, technology exists now. So, I mean, we're kind of getting to the point now, honestly, where we can't really just sit back as bystanders anymore. If we want this thing to go forward, if we want to continue down this path and have people, such intelligent and amazing people building in Bitcoin and within Freedom Tech, we actually have to use these tools. And it's going to be painful. It's going to be shitty for a while, but we have to start pushing this thing forward. We can't just keep waiting for everybody else to do it, because it's not going to happen that way. Hey, Plunger. Good morning, team, and Zap 210 sats. Thank you, Plunger. Appreciate that, my friend. I did notice too, which is very good news for me and anybody else who's streaming on Zapstream. They actually cut their fees in half, which is good. I use the highest latency on Zapstream, and they cut the fees in half, so it's good to, I guess, coincide with the increase in price. B-Belly says, would be great if the average 9-to-5 job gave the option to get paid in Bitcoin. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about. And I'm going to get Bodhi to clip it today, or send it to me and I'll clip it, but I'll put that on the channel today, talking about what businesses could do for their employees in terms of paying them in Bitcoin. And also, as an employee, if you're working on a 9-to-5 job, there are actually ways now where you can get paid in Bitcoin without your boss even knowing about it. So that's kind of one of the things we talked about on that clip. Hey, Sergio. What's up, buddy? Sergio, one of my nostr pals. Oh, man. I'm so excited about nostr. I'm so excited about everything within the space right now. Honestly, it's like I was laying in bed last night, and I was up. I don't even know what time I was up till. I was at like 1 a.m, and I was just like wide awake. And I used to get mad at that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. I need to fall asleep. But now I'm just like, you know what? It's exciting to me that I'm laying in bed at night, not from anxiety, but from like excitement, like thinking about things, thinking about everything that we can do, thinking about different ideas, and just how much opportunity there is in Bitcoin right now. So I was actually pumped. I was like, you know what? I should be thankful that I'm this excited that I'm lying in bed at 1 a.m, wide awake. Even if tomorrow sucks, who cares? Like, it's exciting to me. And that's one thing that I went a lot of years in, within school, within working as an accountant. I went a lot of years without that feeling of excitement. So it's good. Even if it's, even if I'm a little bit tired today, it's worth it to me just to be in a place where I'm excited about something. Okay, let's see what Jay says here. I officially cannot promote AlbiGo. It's unusable, and after installing the app from Start9 as well as my phone, it still won't work. Can't even start from scratch as it keeps loading. I mean, that's kind of the, I just talked about the fact that we have to be the ones that push this thing forward, but we also have to understand that there are going to be some speed bumps. There's going to be issues. I mean, nostr is a perfect example of that. Nostr is not clean. It is very clunky. It's hard to use. And there's a lot of intricacies within nostr, I think, that turn a lot of people off, but we just got to push through it. And I know, Jay, it's as frustrating as that is and sounds. I'm sure within a little while you'll be back on AlbiGo, and it's just we're just so early, and yeah, that's shitty. That's shitty, but good to know. Thanks for telling us because. And Daniel says, Jason, that sucks. LB Hub has worked well for me. All right. Charlie says, what's the point of using on-chain transactions? Is that just for huge amounts of Bitcoin? Pretty much. Yeah. Think of on-chain transactions when you're sending Bitcoin on-chain on layer 1. Think of those like how you would send, currently people use them for a lot of different things. Like somebody bought a hat, hoodie, and a head cover from me, and they paid on chain, which whatever, I don't care. Like people worry about small UTXOs, not me. On chain's good because it's going to stay there for a long time, and that's what you want. But for the most part, like people should be using on chain transactions for larger amounts to consolidate UTXOs, and think of it like a bank wire. That's what it's going to be used for. And the reason why you want to use on chain is because you want to know that that information there is going to be there forever. It's immutable. That's kind of the thing about using layer 1 is you don't have to worry about chargebacks. You don't have to worry about anything changing within that. Because if you think about it, why won't we use on chain for like paying for a bill at a restaurant? Because it's going to take you half an hour or more possibly to settle the bill. You're going to have to wait around at the restaurant for your transaction to confirm. But also, you don't need that transaction to live on layer 1 forever. That's what you put on layer 1 is transactions that you want to be there forever. Nobody can go back and change it. No disputes. So it'll be used for things like buying houses. It'll be used for things like settling debt. Large transactions will be on layer 1, and everything else. Like you don't need to record your purchase at McDonald's on chain forever. That's where you use Lightning. Maverick, good morning. Is that an owl? Looks like it. Hey, Mikkel. What's up, you stacking sleuts? All right, Spaceman says, I also found AlbiGo to be unusable, though I use many of their products, including Albi Hub. Okay. So we got some things going back and forth here. And we got Sergio. 2,500 sats this morning. The fattest zap of the day so far. Thank you, Sergio. That is very much appreciated. Okay, let me see. Let me see what else we got here. Sergio's in both chats. You gotta love that. I'm sure Sergio is kicked back on the couch with some coffee and listening to some guy in a hoodie talk about Bitcoin. Let me find this. Actually, I don't need to find it, but yeah, I'll find it. Screw it. You guys got to see this comment from somebody on Forrest's channel. Where was this? It was on the MicroStrategy video. MicroStrategy and hold on, let me find it. It was hilarious. Hilarious comment. And then we'll get to some comments here. Oh, sorry. Keep blasting the sound here. Where is this? Hold on. I'm gonna find it. It was hilarious. I want to see it. All right, come on, Jor. Come on, baby. Whoa, double Jor there. Oh, great. Now I can't find it. Anyways, somebody was like, why would I trust somebody wearing a hoodie to tell me about finances? And Forrest commented back and said, who do you trust then? And the guy's like, I don't know, somebody that has more of a proven track record or something. But then anyways, there was a couple more comments saying, I trust him more because he is in a hoodie. So something else we got to deal with is the discrimination against the fact that we don't wear suits here in Bitcoin. Captain Codeman says, what's the chances payday happens to be the best Bitcoin price? Just pick when you buy. Yeah, it's tough out there. I still think the best play is just to buy. This is kind of my strategy anyways. This is something I've been doing my best to do. And I'm kind of in the process of moving. I want to be on a Bitcoin standard completely. Like anytime I get cash, I instantly turn it into Bitcoin. I'm not quite there yet. There are a couple hurdles in my way to get there, but I'm on the journey. I'm on the path there. But kind of what I've been doing is, for the most part, basically what I do is I use Bitcoin well. I buy like $20 a week with a DCA, recurring buy. It gets sent to a Lightning wallet. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it. I usually don't even know what happened. And then every month or two, I check my Lightning wallet. I send any sats out of there if there's a high enough balance. And that's kind of my way of buying Bitcoin without even knowing that I'm buying Bitcoin. So the recurring buy, and for somebody like me who doesn't get a steady paycheck ever, I do smaller amounts because I don't, I want to make sure there's money in my bank account, especially when you're living somewhat on a Bitcoin standard. And then every time I get paid, every time I get a paycheck into my account, I just buy Bitcoin. So there are ways now where you can buy gift cards with Bitcoin. So I really think that that's something that everybody watching the show today should be actively working towards, is finding a way that you can earn Bitcoin outside of your normal job. So let's say you got a 9-to-5 job. Don't quit. Just understand how much fiat you're getting and how much Bitcoin you can get from that. I think it's the worst time, honestly, right now that you could be quitting a job, because it's going to be worth it in the long term. But like for these next couple months, you want to get as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. And if you leave your job, you're leaving a whole bunch of money and sats on the table there, unless you have already something in the works that you've been building up. But for the most part, I think that people should keep working their job, but find something that they can do in mornings and at night to sell products or services for Bitcoin, not for fiat, but for Bitcoin. Because when you do something for somebody else online, and nostr is like the perfect place to find people for this. But if you do something online for somebody else anywhere on earth, if you can provide value to them and they can send you Bitcoin, that is so powerful. You never have to go back through the fiat system that way. It's different if you're getting paid and you're getting paid in cash or fiat, and you have to go through the process of going through a KYC exchange, paying a spread. if you can find a way where people pay you directly in Bitcoin, that's what you should be working towards. That's the goal here, because then you can completely avoid that fiat system, which is a big deal for several different reasons. WorkSave Bitcoin says, I use Fold. Currently, a percentage of my direct deposits get converted into Bitcoin. There you go. I think Strike does the same thing. I'm pretty sure Bitcoin well as well. Yep. Daniel says, any price is good when you can trade government trash tokens for real money. 100%. Hey, Kyle. Good morning, my friend. Sats are on sale today. Phil says, I often hear that Lightning should only be used for small amounts, but what is the crossover point between Lightning and on-chain? There's no real amount, I don't think, that you should be using Lightning and on-chain for. The one thing I will say about that is just be careful when you're using, I can probably turn this light off now. I did nothing. The one thing I would say is when you're dealing in Lightning, especially a wallet like Speed, which I love, like I use Speed pretty much every day. I use it for zaps and stuff. But don't keep a large balance on there, because for like you don't hold the keys to that Bitcoin with Speed. Keep in mind here with Lightning that everything's online. In order to hold any Lightning, it has to actually be held on the internet. It's when you take it off Lightning on chain, that's when you can store it off the internet. But just the more so than like the amounts that you're sending, I would say be more conscious of like the amounts that you're keeping in Lightning wallets. So with Aqua, you can hold a lot of Lightning and Liquid on there because you actually hold the key to that wallet, as I talked about earlier in the show, where I took my Aqua wallet, restored it in Sparrow, and was able to interact on there. But if you're using like a Speed wallet or not Coinos, I think you can. Coinos, you have a login, and I'm pretty sure you get a seed for that. So just pay attention to whether your Lightning wallet has a seed phrase or not. Because if it doesn't, you shouldn't be keeping more than like 10 or 20,000 sats on there at a time. And I've been burned by that the hard way. I think I lost about 30,000 sats on a wallet of Satoshi wallet that I had on an old phone. I updated it and then it wouldn't open. So those sats are gone forever. You're welcome. Mikkel says, do you know if the US has a Silk Road Bitcoin in one wallet or multiple? And does anyone know the address? I don't know that. That is a question I do not have an answer to. Live good with Sabian. Good day, Jor. Blessings from Colorado. Man, we got some great people from Colorado that watch the show. We got Adam. I don't mean to dox anybody here, but Adam's from Colorado area. Sabian. Paul's from that area. And Chris, Fractal Chris, one of our Bitcoin amigos, one of our 3 Bitcoin amigos is from Colorado. Great people there. I love Colorado. Get on strike. There is no strike here, Mikkel. There's no strike in Canada. You can have your own Lightning node that you control. Yes, absolutely. Just takes quite a bit of work to get there, though, I feel like. Okay, let's keep going with the news here. What else do we have today? What was this one? Oh, I like this one. I just came across this on Twitter, and I thought it was worth talking about here. One thing I've been paying a lot closer attention to is blue light. I'm somebody who sits in front of my computer quite a bit, obviously, between doing the streams and doing shows and editing and stuff like that, emails. I spend a lot of time in front of a computer screen. And it wasn't until recently with people in the community here, like Daniel, who pointed out Jack Kruse. And so I've been paying a lot more attention to the Jack Kruse and what he talks about in terms of red light, blue light, the impact it has on us. And so I've been doing my best. And big shout out, somebody in the community actually sent me a red light to start using in the morning. Said that we need to keep you healthy. And I mean, this is how everybody should be thinking. You should be paying very close attention to your health, because if you care about your family, about the generations that you're buying Bitcoin to hold for, then you should absolutely be paying just as much attention to, if not more, to your health and your longevity. And so start thinking about this, start implementing some things into your life. You don't have to go overboard with it and spend a whole bunch of money on it, but just take small steps in terms of red light, in terms of getting some glasses. I got both on the way right now. And this was another one that I came across that is a pretty good tip. So it says, by using a projector instead of a big LED TV, you reduce your exposure to blue light photons by approximately 50%. So that's pretty cool. It shows some pictures of people with projectors in their room. I immediately went on to Amazon to see how much a projector is, and they're actually not that expensive anymore. There were some, I don't know how decent they are. I'll have to check on the reviews and stuff, but it looked like you could get a decent projector for like less than $100 now. So to me, that seems like a no-brainer. It's like a fraction of the cost of a huge TV, plus it reduces your blue light. So this is good for the bedroom. If you're somebody who watches TV before you go to bed, consider getting a projector and reduce your blue light exposure. Kind of cool, I thought. All right, what else we got here? We got Buck52,000 says, hello, friends. Hello. And we got Paul says, I have a Jade Plus on the way. Would I create a new seed phrase for it or import seed from my old Jade to consolidate and only use the one? Probably what I would do there is use the original Jade as your decoy wallet. Keep that one in the safe. Transfer an amount to your new Jade and keep that one in a different place. That's why I love this. That's why I love this device. Is because if somebody broke into your home and you just had this device laying around in like an old box of like your childhood stuff, like people would think that this is a Game Boy and they would just walk right past it. And one thing I've been talking about quite a bit on the 365 days of Bitcoin, which again, I highly suggest. Already after 12 days, you probably get enough value from that course as the full price of the year, honestly. But one thing I've been talking about is just the proper way to store your device and the proper way to store your recovery phrase. And myself personally, I did this wrong for many years. Well, I shouldn't say many years, but a couple of years. I was totally off with this. And so I've been sharing some good information in terms of storing your hardware device, storing your private keys, your recovery phrase. And it's a very important part of the whole process here. So again, if you are somebody who's somewhat new, it's not like a brand new Bitcoiner here, but somebody who's just kind of getting into Bitcoin, you want to learn a lot about Bitcoin, everything you need to know about Bitcoin, consider checking out the 365 days of Bitcoin course. We're on day 13 today. And so I'm going to be doing this for the full year, talking about one video per day, talking about different Bitcoin topics. So very reasonable. I priced it to be about $1 per day. And with it, actually, you're going to get a nice certificate saying that I made it through the Bitcoin journey, 365 days of Bitcoin. And it might be toilet paper in a few years, or it actually might be used for something, depending on where this whole thing goes to. So you can join that. The show notes, it says join Living the Future. You go into there and you click the 365 days of Bitcoin course. And you also get access to the Wednesday private Q&A that we do on the channel here through that membership. Mikkel says, don't forget to help Jor out with all this free information he gives us every day and smash the like button and donate some sats. Thank you, Mikkel. That's a good reminder. And something I'm going to be working towards here in the future. I just have a couple things I need to do, but I want this show to be mostly value for value. I talk about it, and I think it's a good idea to live it as well. So something I'm working on. I got to do a couple things before I go full value for value. But yes, I mean, for the most part, this show, the reason I show up every day is mostly donations from the community here. And I'm not going to complain. There's been quite a few coming in lately. I mean, we got a bunch of zaps from Zapstream today. And, you know, if I was looking at this like in dollar terms, I made $3 so far on Zapstream, but I see a lot more value in that. I plan on keeping these sats for a long time. I plan on being here for a long time. And, you know, whether it's a like, whether it's a comment or a zap, they help a lot. So thank you, Mikkel, for pointing that out. And yeah, I mean, if you don't have the means to be zapping, I get it. But least you could do is like, share this with any friends and family. And maybe not the live shows, but definitely the clips from my channel. That helps quite a bit as well. So thank you, Mikkel. Yeah, Jason says, too bad the Colorado follows the same political ideology as the whole that Cali does. Yeah. Is Colorado still a blue state? I thought that Republicans won that one. But I don't know. What do I know? Daniel says, just got one for Christmas, a projector, I'm guessing. Really good. Love that. Mikkel says, sorry, I'm sorry you're way too impolite to be a Canadian. I always forget. Well, that's good. I take that as a compliment. And actually, I've had a couple people reach out in the last couple weeks, just saying thanks and saying, you know, there's Bitcoin channels out there who really have to watch what they say, because, you know, and I don't mean to shit on other channels, but you have to call it out when it's there. A lot of the other Bitcoin channels and shows are very reliant on sponsors. And I get it. But at the same time, that means that their voice is pretty much controlled and they really have to watch what they say. And the beauty of this channel, and I think that why people continue to show up here every day for the most part, is because nobody owns me. There's no agenda here for me. The agenda for me is to help people secure their Bitcoin and make sure they have their Bitcoin in 50 years from now. And so I don't need to be polite to anybody. I don't have to watch what I say. I can say whatever I want on here as long as it's within YouTube's guidelines. And I actually want to eventually get away from that. So that's me. What are your thoughts on Terranode? Never heard of it. Never been. But we do have some zaps. We got Spaceman zapped 420 sats. Thank you, Spaceman. And Daniel zapped our favorite number, 88 sats for a morning zap. Thank you, Daniel. And look at this name, Country Club Hillbilly. I love that. That seems like two different worlds in one. I love that. Whenever you mesh two things together, it's a beautiful thing. So Country Club Hillbilly says, love the show. Thank you, my friend. And I love the name because country clubs and hillbillies don't usually get together very often in life. All right, let's check on the like. Speaking of Mikkel, speaking of the question there, let's get these up. Let's get these up. Oh, by the way, one other thing I wanted to share here today that I forgot about is, so we got 60 people in here and we got 44 likes. That's not bad. Let's set a little super chat goal here today. Let's try to get 10 super chats. I'm going to put 10 super chats, $20 per more, and the goal is to buy some Biddy. There we go. But I should give a shout out here to Chris because he went through all the trouble of uploading our Bitcoin Amigos songs. And I guess he used a QR code at the end for like how to find these songs on Spotify and Wavelake. And the QR codes expired. So he had to delete all those and start uploading new songs onto YouTube in terms of our lyric videos for Bitcoin Amigos. So make sure, if you don't mind today, go have a listen to some of those songs. Leave a nice comment for Chris. Say thank you for re-uploading these, and make it sting a little bit less for him. So those are all once again available on the channel there. I have a feeling that some of these songs are actually going to be pretty big in the future for in Bitcoin. I mean, this is one of my faves here. This one's called The Ballad of Satoshi. I'll play a little bit here for you. Like it's incredible. It's really incredible, these tunes.
He rode into town, a stranger unknown, where warlord Dollar sat high on his throne. The people were broken, their freedom denied, but Satoshi spoke truth and their hearts came alive. Oh, Satoshi, bold and true, filled with hope, a dream come true. His Bitcoin invention code filled with grace, a hero selfless, leaving no trace. Dollar laughed loud, he's nothing to fear.
So good. So good. So if you don't mind, I mean, one other thing you can do here through, if you want to help support the channel a little bit, is definitely go subscribe to the Amigos channel there. You just type in Bitcoin Amigos and just listen to some of those songs today. They have such a good message too. Like they're really catchy, and there's something for everybody. You got some steel guitar there, some country, you got some hip hop, the Fat Zap Friday. You got some reggae for Sats You Saved Today, and then just some really good upbeat ones like the Bitcoin Amigos. I think that's my favorite of them all. But definitely go over there at Bitcoin Amigos channel, press the like button, say thank you, Chris, for re-updating these or re-uploading these. And let's get those songs out there. They're awesome. Like the message there is pretty special. B-Belly says, thanks to one of your viewers, I got onto Smiles and a few other apps to earn sats each day. Free sats all the way. Love that. I think the Smiles is basically, depending on how many miles you put on walking, I think you get paid in sats for that. If I'm not mistaken, that could be something else. But yeah, absolutely. We need to be, every chance you get, whether it's through ZBD or actually, we'll leave that there. ZBD, Shake Pay you shake your phone and get it. Smiles, Bitcoin Solitaire, Wave Lake. You just go into Wave Lake and listen to 2 songs a day and get free sats. Fountain, you can get free sats on. Tons. And they're not going to be around forever, for sure. So you got to take advantage of these free sats while we can. Mikkel says New England states are sadly in the same boat as Cali, Colorado, New York, and for politics. It seems to be all the places with a large population and condensed areas with extreme homelessness. Yeah, tough. Same here in Canada with all the big cities. There's a lot of issues there. Travis Tritt song, what's that about? Did I miss something here? Country Club Hillbilly? That sounds like a Travis Tritt song. Mikkel says, Joe, do you notice similar trends in Canada? I don't know too much about the Canadian government. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Canada today versus 10 years ago, it's like a completely different place. Like if you drove through Canada 10 years ago versus today, it is 100% 180. It's scary to me, and that's one of the reasons I moved out of the city. I mean, I didn't live in a big city. The city I was in had about 60,000 people. And so like a small town, kind of, I guess you'd say, but it's called a city. It's the second biggest city in Manitoba here. But I just had to get out. There's too much bullshit. I just didn't like it. It didn't sit well with me. What was happening? That was in 2022, I believe. And it just got to be too much for me. Too busy. Too many people who were just like, I don't know. I get it if you're running from a country who's like very draconian. I mean, you're not upgrading too much in Canada, but like people just come here and they're like, they don't even try to fit into the culture here. They're just like, you know what? We're going to push our culture on you. And if you don't like it, then you're a racist. So I don't love it. That's one of the main reasons I moved out into a very small town here. And there's just too many dipshits. I mean, that's the best way to put it. There's just too many dipshits in the city. People walking around with masks on outside. I'd be driving down the road to work and I'd see people walking outside with a mask on. And I'm like, I do not want to even have a chance of running into these people and like somehow getting stupider by being a part of their life. So I just moved out of there. And haven't spent one single day regretting that. So it is the same here in Canada. The cities are a joke. Our government is beyond a joke. And yeah, it's nuts. It's sad, but I haven't given up. Forrest and I talked about that. I think that Canada's got a very bright future. We just got to rebuild it here. Bodhi zapped 1,000 sats saying we should help Ballad of Satoshi go viral. I played it for my daughter and she loves it. Let's help Fractal Chris. Oh, yeah. By the way, just finishing the clip on BG for this discussion we had about the company Blue Cotton. All right. So check that out then today on Bodhi's Bitcoin Generations channel. Go check out the conversation we had about paying your employees in Bitcoin or getting paid in Bitcoin as an employee. But yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, if you, that's okay. Well, let's go with that. Let's do that. That's going to be my ask today of you. Every single person watching the show today. And I know only a fraction of people will do this, but go to Bitcoin Amigos channel and you don't have to subscribe or anything. I'm not going to beg you to, but take this song. It's called The Ballad of Satoshi. It has a very good meaning. It's very catchy. And I do think it has the ability to go viral. And so take this, click the share button, copy the link, and whatever you use, if it's Nostr, if you use Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, just share it on there and see what happens. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps support the channel here. And it helps this amazing music that Chris has been putting together, helps get in front of more ears. So that's my ask of you today. Thank you, Bodhi, for the suggestion. And I mean, even if 5 or 6 people did that, I think that would go a long ways in terms of helping more people hear the music and just the lyrics there. It's such a good message. Satoshi going against the dollar. And yeah, Jason says, absolute banger. I agree. You can hear the fingers picking. Yeehaw. Jason says the clear indicator for that was Bitcoin well dropping from 500 to 210 sats. They are starting to wean us off free sats. I think everybody will. Anytime you're getting incentives for free Bitcoin, you're going to see it start to drop and drop and drop. I've been seeing it for years now in the stuff that I use. All right. So what else we got going on here? Ooh, lots of, so Jet says, the longer I'm in crypto, the more of a Bitcoin maxi I become. Still holding a bunch of altcoins, but starting to seriously question that. Yeah. I mean, there's no better time than right now to be starting to trade in your cryptos for Bitcoin. Best time was yesterday. Second best time is today. Charlie says, is this AI or chit singing? What does that mean? Yeah, they are AI. But the lyrics are amazing. The tunes are amazing. We've got some lyric videos. They're all about Bitcoin. And who knows, maybe Chris, Jerry, and myself will actually do our own rendition of it one day with our voices. You never know. You never know. I actually think that would be awesome. Too many lefties. Yeah, I mean, there's just too many dipshits. There's lots of righties that are people who are conservative. They're dipshits too. There's just too many dipshits. I think that is a good way to put it. All right, what else do we have here? Let's get through a couple of these comments. Actually, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to watch this video. Ooh, I'm running out of time here. No, we're not going to watch this today. I changed my mind. Called an audible here. We'll do that tomorrow maybe. Actually, you know what? We're going to do it on Wednesday for the private Q&A. Okay, so I'm going to get to a couple comments here from people on the channel. This is kind of the reason why I named the show today. Does anybody really understand Bitcoin? So I want to go through a couple of these comments here, just from within the last day on the channel here, because it's just, it's so clear to me that there's so many people out there who are really misunderstanding Bitcoin. And, you know, I'll probably respond to a few of these and say, I answered the question on here today. But I mean, just where we are today, if you, we kind of have a decent approximation of how many people own Bitcoin. But I think you'd have to look very deep into that number, that pool, to find people who actually understand Bitcoin and understand what's happening here in Bitcoin. So let's go through a few of these comments here. I'm just going to read them. I'm not going to bring this up on screen, but let's go through a few of these comments here. So first one, actually, let me find this, because people keep asking about the Tangem wallet on here. And I want to find, I have a tweet here that I wanted to share in terms of why people shouldn't be using the Tangem wallet. So let me find this quickly. And I don't mean to, again, I don't mean to scare people here. This isn't meant to cause fear with people. I'm not selling anything here, but I'm just telling you, like, if you're using Tangem, there are significant holes in that wallet. And so you don't have to panic. You don't have to move it today. You don't have to go out and spend a whole bunch of money, but just take actionable steps towards getting a new wallet. Get an air-gapped one. And Tangem might even be air-gapped, but there's a lot of holes in it here, as I'm about to explain. But you can always use your Tangem or your Trezor or your Ledger for like a decoy wallet. So don't just throw it in the garbage and get all mad about it, but you can use it in your own security setup. So this is a 1 of 4 thread on why Tangem is crap. So let me just read these. These are not my words. This is from E4 Pool on Twitter. So it says, they lied about their audit. The actual Tangem wallet was first audited in December 2023. They lie about this and say that their 2018 was the first audit, but there was no Tangem wallet in 2018. They lie about their open source. Firmware is closed and always has been. The mobile interface is not the hardware wallet. The next one here says, provided source code of mobile interface cannot be compiled because of private part of code. So it sounds like Tangem is claiming to be open source, but they're not. They also lie about their apocalypse scenario. They use private APIs in their client. If API goes down, you cannot move your crypto. Next one here says, stupid seed phrase implementation because seed generated in insecure environment on a smartphone. Stupid passphrase implementation because it's just import, but not how passphrase must work. I don't understand that one, but anyways, they call it stupid. And stupid propaganda of seedless method. Next one here is anti-privacy. You can't use your node. You can't even not reuse addresses in Bitcoin. What you wait from wallets that can't implement basic Bitcoin features. Be safe, avoid shit wallets. The grammar and punctuation here is horrible, but it says do your own research. You can't even verify transactions on the device screen because there is no screen on Tangem. It's a required function of a hardware wallet. That's its purpose. And says lie about no private keys were compromised. So clearly somebody very frustrated with the Tangem wallet went on a little tear about the device there. And then somebody right underneath there says, we reviewed Tangem almost a year ago and came to many of these same conclusions. There are far better options out there. So, I mean, that's honestly probably for the last month or two, that's like been the most commented. Man, shout out to Arnie. He's been here for the whole show today. He showed up. He's not adding too much today, but he's here. So just be aware. Again, don't go out, spend a whole bunch of money. You don't need to panic or anything, but just be aware. Be aware that there are privacy issues. There's security issues. There's a lot of issues within the Tangem wallet. So verify all this yourself. I've never used Tangem, so don't fully trust me on this. But if you are somebody who's using the Tangem wallet, I would strongly consider getting a different device. Use a Cold Card, a Jade, or a Passport. Get an air-gapped wallet. And just use your Tangem. Keep like 5% of your balance on there and use that as your decoy wallet. Put that in the safe. Somebody breaks in your house, they get your 5% of your Bitcoin. So that's the Tangem wallet. That is a Tangem wallet. Okay, the next question here is actually from Julius. And I believe Julius is a new member of Living the Future. We had a lot of fun with that when Julius was added into the group chat. I think we were calling him Orange Julius. But the question was, do you think I should buy a separate laptop to use for Bitcoin only? That's a good question. That's a good question. And I would say that honestly, more importantly than having a separate laptop dedicated to your Bitcoin would be two things. I think everybody should absolutely have their own Bitcoin email address that they use for Bitcoin, whether that's setting up a new exchange, registering with new Bitcoin service, new company. Always make sure you have a Bitcoin email address. Don't have one with your name in it. Don't use one that you use like for your day-to-day stuff. Have a totally separate email address for your Bitcoin stuff. Two reasons for that. Number one is privacy stuff. And number two is you're much less likely to open an email in your Bitcoin only email, whether it's like 6 in the morning, you're scrolling through your phone and maybe you accidentally click a link that you shouldn't. I would say that there's much less of a risk of that happening with like a Bitcoin only email address. So that's the first one I would say. And then the second part is that even better than having your own laptop is running your own node. So if I was somebody who's like, I'm going to buy a brand new laptop just for Bitcoin and spend a couple $1,000, I would much rather buy Start9 server, start running your own node, connect that to your Sparrow device or your Sparrow wallet. And that's going to provide you with a lot more privacy and verification. So that's what I'd say. Don't go out and buy a new laptop just for Bitcoin. I mean, eventually you want to get to a position where you have like a fresh laptop, a server. You know, it's something you do over time, but it's not something you need to do right off the bat. I think that money is much better spent buying Bitcoin. So if you are in the market for like a Bitcoin or a Start9 server, make sure you use the code 88SATS, 88 SATS at Start9, and you'll get about $60 US off of your purchase. So that's what I'd say. Don't worry too much about having a separate laptop, but it is somewhere you want to get to eventually. It's just not. I wouldn't say it's a huge priority. And then eventually you can move the majority of your Bitcoin to your new setup over time when the fees are right, when you have everything in place. But I don't think that's a real high priority, honestly. And I could be wrong about that. And if I am, I'm sure the comments will let me know. So that's what I had there. What else? Okay, let's check on some comments here. I feel like I'm getting behind. Sorry, I don't know why I had that comment up the whole time. My bad. All right. Bet Jor has some nice twang in that voice. I don't know. I've never actually tried singing. Maybe for the Bitcoin Amigos, that'll be my debut. I don't think anybody wants to hear that, but it would be fun. It would be fun. Maybe AI can like sharpen up our voice or something. Yeah, I kind of agree with this. I think that especially with Ethereum, I think you should be trading all of your Ethereum for Bitcoin today. Like just look at the chart, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you can be a pretty good. You can decide where you think Ethereum is going to go, whether it's going to go up comparison to Bitcoin. And again, even if Ethereum ends up going up in fiat price, that means that Bitcoin's probably doubled what Ethereum's done. So don't try to time it. Don't wait for Ethereum to go up. I think Ethereum has a much better chance of going to zero than it does to outperforming Bitcoin right now. Jason. Yeah, that's pretty much every show here. We're doing it live. We are doing it live. All right. Captain Coban says Tangent wrote their seed phrase to logs. Yeah. And any hardware wallet without a screen is a risk. I agree with both those. Mikkel says Tangent just appeases their customers by linking the credit card for familiarity. If people weren't so confident in a credit card, nobody would use it. Yeah, it sounds like the chat agrees with me here, which is good. The Jor, do your own research. Yeah. Take my advice on a few things, but also verify yourself. Okay, I got to top up my balance here in Zapstream quickly and start wrapping up here. I'm filming some stuff with Rajat at 10 a.m. my time today. Oh shit. Okay, where's my wallet here? I now have a Lightning address specifically, Lightning wallet specifically for paying my rent in Zapstream. All right. Who we talking about here? Their business model seems to be spending. Oh, Tangent probably. I have such a problem with this right now. There's a lot of Bitcoin businesses, including Tangent by the sounds of it, who are just spending so much money on influencers on YouTube. And, there's a couple different Bitcoin advisory firms who are taking this same route and focused more on growing as opposed to actually doing good for their clients. So, I mean, that's where Bitcoin Citadel is going to have such an advantage there. Our website's going to be live hopefully this week for Bitcoin Citadel. And we're going to do things a lot differently than other Bitcoin advisory firms. And that's a promise. And we're going to let people know about that on our website. You'll be able to see what makes us different from other Bitcoin advisory firms. And our whole goal is to help people. And we're not in the business of ripping people off. We want to make sure that, instead of paying us your Bitcoin, you should be buying, or paying us in fiat, you should be buying Bitcoin with that. So keep an eye out for Bitcoin Citadel. I do think we're going to make some very big waves in the Bitcoin world. And, I might be asking for your help in terms of testimonials or just spreading the word about Bitcoin Citadel. This is why I didn't get into storage wallets until I joined Living the Future. Oh, man. Yeah, there's so much value in living the future. So much value there. Wyatt says, I still have a big chunk of Bitcoin on my first ledger and have put off moving to a Jade. How come? I wouldn't be, I don't know. It's just me, but I wouldn't be storing a huge balance on ledger right now. Hey, Otis. Yeah, this is a good call. To my older crowd, please don't fall for these comment scams. If you see a seed phrase in a comment, ignore it or report it. I don't know what it is. And actually, I've had a couple people in the last little while say my channel, for some reason, just attracts these bots. I have no idea why, but yeah, it is something to keep an eye out for. I'm never going to tell you to join my WhatsApp community. I don't even have WhatsApp. And if you see a private key in a comment, just ignore it or report it. Scotty says, if you connect Sparrow to your node, do you then send all transactions to Sparrow and then to your hardware wallet? Not sure how that works when you want to use other wallets. So you can connect any wallet that allows to be connected to a node. You can connect that to your Start9. Sparrow's the easiest one to do. And I think you actually have to do that. I'm pretty sure you could do that after you already have a wallet hooked up in there. But what I would suggest, if your balances and transactions have already been doxed, I would suggest setting up a new wallet connected to a node and sending Bitcoin to that. Again, don't rush into that. Take it slow. You don't have to do it tomorrow. But like your end goal here should be to be completely private and sovereign within Bitcoin. So Do you think there will eventually be a universal hardware wallet? I hope not, because that seems like a very centralized way to be doing things. I mean, even if you have if you got a significant balance in Bitcoin, you shouldn't even be using the same company for your devices. Like, get a cold card, get a Jade, get a passport, have some on your phone, and don't ever put all of your eggs into one basket here. So I hope that there's never a universal hardware wallet. I do think that in the future, every app on your phone will have a Lightning wallet built into it that's very easy for people to use. And I'm sure Apple's going to perfect that. But yeah, I hope that there's no universal hardware wallet. That seems like a huge risk of centralization. Yeah, Captain Codeman says that scam with the private keys. Basically, it fishes you into putting in your private keys, I think, or it makes you pay gas to move the balance out of there. One of the two. It's a complete scam. So just ignore it. Yeah, that's fair. This is fair. And one thing what you can do if you have a Jade and a Ledger is just get one more device and set up a multi-sig there. You can use your Jade, you can use your Ledger, get one more device, get a cold card maybe. Oh, hold on. I didn't even read the whole thing here. I want to get multiple Jades or cold cards, but a multi-sig setup is too complex. Yeah, that's fair. And actually, one of the reasons I love SuperBacked is you can basically create a multi-sig without multiple devices, where you have your one wallet, but you actually need 3 different QR codes or 2 of 3 QR codes with your password to unlock that. So you can essentially create a in a way, you don't have the devices, you don't have the sign devices in a multi-sig, but you do have your recovery phrases in a multi-sig, which could be very useful for people. Sending QR codes to other people in the mail in a sealed bag is a lot easier than having to travel to multiple locations and give them hardware devices for it. So that's an option. And again, I know I've been talking a lot about SuperBacked, and we've had a lot of interest from the community here. So if you are, I think I put it right at the top. If you're interested in learning more about SuperBacked, the security and inheritance protocol we're working on, or we've implemented here, you can just reach out and set up a quick call. Hey, the Grinder's over here. 121 sat zap. Thank you, Grinder. We got to get in touch, man. We got to do a show here soon. I would like to do it before January 20th if possible, but I mean, it's kind of up to you. Whatever works best for your schedule. Hey, Mikkel, $2 super chat. At 200,000 Bitcoin, we're going to get Jor with a mustache. I think you're wishing there. I look like a big time creep with a mustache. So we'll keep the beard. We'll keep the beard. Okay, Jay says, I can't figure out how to earn sats on Wave Lake by listening. Okay, well, we got a couple minutes here. I'll show you. So if you go to Wave Lake, by the way, all the Bitcoin Amigos songs are on Wave Lake. But I actually earned 20 sats already today on Wave Lake. So from the very main page on your mobile device, you go to listen to earn right at the top. Listen to earn. And then, oh, we got another one on here. So I can earn 10 sats here. The thing you got to keep in mind here with this Wave Lake, though, is you actually have to have this open. That's one thing I've learned is if my phone goes off, like if it goes to sleep, or if I move out of the app here, the earning stops. So we should here after, it depends on how they do it, but if you keep it open, you see at the top, it says earning 0 out of 10 sats there. If you keep this open the whole time, you should get sats into your wallet for listening to music. So it's another reason to have Wave Lake. Jet says, many crypto channels are getting lots of spam comments, not just yours, Jor. I think Rajet spends a lot of time. It is a lot of time. It's very time consuming trying to clean those up. And so I want to just warn everybody. I'm never going to ask you for money anywhere. I don't have a WhatsApp channel, and definitely don't put your the seed phrase that, oh shit, my thing went off here. Oh no, see, I got two out of 10 sats already for this. So it's usually every minute you earn sats that you have it on. All right, what else do we have here? Charlie says, it's a good question. This is where we're going to end it today because I got to go. Jor, I have heard the fires can warp the steel plates. Do you think the steel plates will eventually be something of the past because Bitcoin should be pure consciousness? I mean, I don't love the idea of people keeping their, and I've changed my mind on this lately. I don't love the idea of people going through the time of memorizing their seed phrase. I've changed my mind on that. I thought it was a good idea. I went through the trouble of memorizing mine, and I'm actually going to move that wallet, even though I memorized the seed phrase for it. I'm going to move it out of that wallet and into a wallet that I don't know the key to. I don't have it memorized, because even if you're just using that as like a backup to memorize your seed phrase. I mean, last week on the show, I showed an example of somebody getting tortured for their Bitcoin, which is horrifying. And I think that if you're in a position, God forbid, but if you're in a position where somebody's trying to torture your Bitcoin out of you and you actually know those words, then you will be much more likely to tell them. And I think that through body language, through the interaction there, people will be able to tell that you're lying. And so if you actually don't memorize your seed phrase, if you don't have an answer for them, and if you get your security set up in a position where there's literally nothing that you can do, I think that there's a better chance you actually walk out of that interaction unhurt and with your Bitcoin. So I have changed my mind on that. And in terms of steel and titanium, I've actually heard that titanium will hold up through fire. Steel, again, like you said, can be warped. But if you have like a titanium, like the ones that we have at QuickBit, I think that titanium does actually hold up in fire. But again, like that's the kind of the end goal here for people should be actually encrypting your recovery phrase, not leaving it on paper, not leaving it on titanium, but eventually having titanium and encryption for a while, and then going away from titanium. So that would be kind of like the timeline that you should follow. If you're just kind of new to Bitcoin and you want to just keep your, like, let's say you're watching this right now, you got a hardware device, you got your 12 words, I would order a titanium plate. Absolutely. Should be the first thing you do. Keep it on paper, look after that paper in the meantime. But as soon as your steel plate comes in, get it onto steel. And then after a while, once your knowledge and your experience in Bitcoin is high enough, that's when you actually go to the trouble of encrypting it. And when you have encryption, when you have backups, QR codes dispersed in multiple locations, then you're kind of invincible, I think, in Bitcoin. That's where you want to get to. What did I miss here? Okay, I really got to go here, folks. Sorry. Tinu, thank you for the super chat. $2.79. Love that. I don't know if there's meaning behind that number or not, but anyways, thank you. And Dizzy Willow says, yo, yo, yo. And Night 99 says, that's a great song by the Bitcoin Amigos. Yeah, again, my one ask for today is go the Ballad of Satoshi on the Bitcoin Amigos channel. Post that on your Twitter, on your Nostr, and let's help more people listen to that song because it is a great song with a great message behind it. So anyways, I hope you all have a great day today. And yeah, see, this is the problem I have with it. Mikkel says, you don't think they'll understand you lost in a boating accident while you're getting waterboarded? That's what I mean. Like, I think that if you actually know that you have the ability to give them your Bitcoin, I think that they'll know and you're more likely to crack under that situation. Whereas if there's literally nothing that you can do, that's a situation you want to get into. So that's where I don't suggest you memorize your seed phrase. So thank you for the zaps. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for the super chats, Mikkel and Tinu. And I hope everybody has an amazing day today. And we'll be here just like every day, right back first thing tomorrow morning. So 1 minute to spare, classic. All right, bye-bye.